Hi, welcome to our new tutorial on making an instructional video. Several people had requested this, and so I hope this meets your needs. Um, there are really 5 steps in creating a video, whether you are making an instructional video for students or whether I'm making an instructional video for you. The first one is sort of preparing your materials. Are there any research activities that you need to do to pull together information? Do you need to prepare demonstrations, models, activities that you're going to share? All of that stuff happens up front. Then there's the writing of the script, or in many cases it may just be an outline. You may not want to write a word-for-word script, but I feel it helps to at least have a bit of an outline or a few bullet points so that you kind of know what you're going to cover as you go. I will show you, this is the script I'm working from. This is not just a script for today, this is a script for all 3 videos. So it doesn't take a lot, but that lets me know that I'm on track, that I'm not forgetting things, that I'm covering all the important items. Then we get to using the technology. Step 3 is recording your video. Step 4 is editing, and that can involve editing the video that you recorded. It can also mean adding in some of those extra effects like transitions or a title card, things like that. Then the last one is publishing. Where are you going to host that video? And then once it's there, how are you going to share that with your audience? How are you going to get that information to your students or to you guys? So we are not going to focus on the research part or the scripting part. That's really not about the technology. We are going to focus on the last 3 steps: recording, editing, and publishing. We'll do that in 3 different videos, so hopefully they can all be kind of short, and we'll focus on each topic separately. So in this one, we're going to look at recording. I'm going to show you some of the software that you can use to record your instructional video, and we will walk through a very simple recording just so you can see how it works. So let's get started with that right now. There are really 4 pieces of software that I want to talk about today. All 4 of them are very easy to use. They do a great job of recording your screen, which is often the primary part of creating an instructional video. And there's not much cost involved, and that's a good thing for all of us. So let's walk through those 4 really quickly. The first is Screencastify. Screencastify is just a Google Chrome extension. You'll see it right here at the top of my screen. And if I click on that, it pops open the window and allows me to begin recording. It's going to give me a choice. Do I want to record my browser tab, my entire desktop, or do I want to flip it around and use the webcam and just record myself? And so it's very straightforward and very simple. The problem is there's a 5-minute limit to how long your video can be. If you want to pay the $29 a year subscription fee, then you get unlimited videos. However, keep in mind, research tells us shorter videos certainly get more attention. People tend to watch them all the way through. The longer the video, the more people are fast forwarding or skipping or quitting before they get to the end. So often the ideal recommendation for a quick instructional piece of information is about 3 minutes or so. And I certainly can say in my experience, I think that's true. The shorter videos that I offer to staff usually get a lot more feedback than the longer videos. They're just easier to watch and you learn one quick tip and you move on. If you're sharing something with students, I think you certainly have to keep things moving along to keep them engaged. So you probably don't want to spend a long time on any one instructional item. Now that doesn't mean that you might not record 3 or 4 clips that all are about whatever it is that you're trying to share. But still, by breaking them up and having a part 1 and a part 2, you might not cover them all in the same day. You can space it out, whatever. So that's the benefit and the limit of Screencastify. Super easy to use, but that 5-minute limit unless you pay. When you record your videos, they will automatically be saved online and in your Google Drive. So easy to find your videos when you're done. Next up, Screencastomatic. This is probably the one I use the most often. It's the one I'm using right now to record what I'm sharing with you. This has a 25-minute limit if you want to upload your video and store it in their website. If you're going to store it on your computer, you can record for longer. If you just want an unlimited package, it's $20 a year for everything. I do have an account with them just because sometimes my videos are longer. This is the one I use the most often. Very simple to use, just like with Screencastify. You can see in their sample here, you get the option. Do you want to record your screen, your webcam, or both, where you put yourself in a little picture down in the corner. My maximum time is none. I'm just going to record until I finish, and it's capturing the audio as I go. The computer audio is a function you can turn on or off. I generally have it off, but if I wanted you to hear the dings and the clicks and whatever as I click on things on the screen, I would turn that on and it would capture those pieces as well. Next up, Loom. And there is a Loom for Education. So you would want to go to that because that's where, instead of paying for Loom, Loom is free for educators. So you would start with a free account, which is limited. But as soon as you set up that free account, you would click the Get Verified step. Within 2 or 3 days, you will get the unlimited Loom account for educators. And that's a really nice deal. They store all your videos online as you record them, so it's not taking up space on your hard drive, but it's just one click to download them so that you can move them to your computer and then work with them in your editing software or however you might want to do that. Again, it lets you record your screen, it lets you record yourself, or it lets you record both. So there's 3 programs that are really easy. All of them have a free version, and I would say these really don't take any learning curve at all. We're going to demonstrate one in a moment just so you can see how straightforward it is. Your last option, though, is built right into your Mac, and that is QuickTime. If you open QuickTime from your hard drive, and you will see in the pull-down menu, you have an option to do a new movie recording. That would be if you just wanted to record yourself talking to your students. A new audio recording, which you probably won't use, that's just picking up your voice, or a new screen recording. If I choose new screen recording, I immediately get this little window. All I have to do is click the record button, and it's recording everything that happens on my screen. So if I need to demonstrate things, if I want to show things to students, I can do that with QuickTime. So there you go. The software, not hard to find, easy to work with. So now let's take a look at how one of those pieces of software works. Okay, let's see if we can demonstrate how one of these pieces of software works for you, just so you get a quick walkthrough. And I will admit this is a bit tricky because I'm using one piece of screen capture software to capture myself using another piece of screen capture software, and hopefully the two won't conflict anywhere along the way. So I want to demonstrate Screencastomatic because that's the one I use the most often, and so I'm comfortable with that, and I feel like that's a good one to show you. And so I would just come down to my toolbar down here, my dock, and click it, and that brings up this window. You can see the 2 pieces that I recorded earlier this morning. They are stored and ready for me to use, and now I'm going to add to that by clicking the record button, and it will launch the recorder. And you get 2 things. You get the pop-up here that says, okay, let's make our choices, and you see the prompt, the recorder is going to record whatever happens in this frame. Now, even when I choose screen, which is what it's chosen right now, it's not recording my entire screen. It's just recording the part within that frame. So why is that helpful? In some pieces of software, it will give you a choice of recording your screen, the whole screen, or recording an application. So you could choose to record just your Chrome browser. This one doesn't do it that way. It lets me choose along the borders. So by moving the side over here, I can eliminate some of the clutter on my desktop, the folders and things that are there. I can slide that in so that a viewer's not distracted by that. They're just seeing what I want them to see on my browser page here. What if I were going to share some slides with staff members or if I was a teacher and sharing with students. And so I want to walk you through a slideshow. I don't want you to see all the distracting elements around the side. So I could resize this to fit the slide itself. I could pull the top and bottom down to do the same so that everything is, whoops, didn't mean to grab that, so that everything is fitting inside my frame just perfectly. There we go. Now, when I go through my slides, I'm seeing everything on my screen, but the viewer is only seeing the slide itself, what's being recorded inside there. I can bring it back out to a bigger size and go over to a Jamboard, and I can keep my students focused on the jam itself. What am I writing in here? Let's do a math problem together. 2 plus 2 equals, and we can solve that problem together. They don't need to see the extra controls up in the top toolbar, etc. Anything extra might be a distraction. By being able to move this around, I can change what's being recorded, and that's a nice feature. You can see I can also switch to the webcam, and that's going to flip around. Hi there. This is how I can record myself talking to you and explaining things. This is often good if you've got a longer piece just as an introductory piece. It's a great way to break things up between just demonstrating stuff on the screen, because after a while that gets pretty boring and dry. It's also a great way if you just want to grab like a 30-second video every day to drop into your Google Classroom so that as kids log in, there's always something that just says, "Hi, I'm glad to see you today. Today is Thursday. We got warm weather outside. I'm so excited that spring is on the way." The end. That's all you need to do. This is a great way to capture those moments. And if you want to try to maintain as much personal touch as you can with your students while you're demonstrating things, you can keep your face down here in the corner. That way your students can always see you. You can take a break from demonstrating and talk right to them to get their attention. So you've got that option with all of these. It's not just Screencastomatic, they all do that. Now, I'm going to hit record down here because I've already shown you I don't have a recording time. The size is determined by where I put the frame. My narration is working fine. I don't have to change that unless I connect an external microphone. And I've already told you the computer audio is just about whether or not you hear the clicks or not, and I don't really want that. So let's come down here and hit the record button and begin recording. I get a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and go, and now I'm recording. As I'm recording, I will see a red and white frame that reminds me of what you can see and what you can't see, so that if I suddenly want to go over and click something on my desktop, I'm reminded, oh, you're not seeing me do that, so I need to explain what I'm doing. I also have a timer down here in the lower left, counting how long I've been recording, so that's helpful to me if I'm getting a bit long-winded. And I have a pause button. The pause button will allow me to stop and start my video as I go. I can pause. Now, it's pause recording. I can hit record and continue to record. I also have this feature. I can bring up my zoom and draw features. And now I'm continuing to record. It's going to count me down again. All right, let's continue with what we're talking about. But now I have these draw tools. So I can show you right here is what the palette will look like when you start to record. I can change that to being an arrow, and I can say, look, you can record for free. There's a little bit of a lag time right now, and that's because I've got 2 video recording pieces of software working at the same time. But all of these video recording options, except for QuickTime, have these draw tools included. So that's always a thing that you can add if you choose to do so. I need to hit my escape key. The draw tools go away, and now I can come here and pause again. Now that I'm paused this time, I'm going to say I'm done. If you just mess up along the way, you can hit the trash can, it throws it away. Let's just start over. We're not doing that. I can just say I am done. And when I click done, it will say, what do I want to do? You can edit here, but we can always come back to the editor, and so we will do that in the editing video. always my step is let's just save it. I've done the work. I want to get a copy saved. I want to save it as a video file. And so I'm going to title it. And so my recording name is going to be Video Demo. And hit Publish. Now it's going to take a few minutes as it publishes this to a file. It is saving that file to my desktop because that's how I've set it up. That's what I want it to do. And even if I leave the screen, you can see it'll continue in the background. But when it's all done, I can just say OK. And now I've got 3 videos that I recorded today. They're all out here on my desktop, as you can see. And if I'm done with this, I can click Close. So there is a basic walkthrough of how to use your video recording software. So hopefully that little demonstration encourages you to do your own instructional videos. Mostly because I hope it showed you that it is not hard to do. It is super easy to use this software. It is set up to be user-friendly. There aren't a lot of options and preferences that you have to worry about. You can click record and you're rolling. You can record your screen really easily to share demonstrations or information with your audience, whether that's students or if you're making something for parents to view or for other professionals as some professional development. And you can record yourself. Even if it's just that quick good morning video that you want to stick in your Google Classroom to share with students who are still learning from home or who may be absent for a day and doing materials from home, get that in there. It makes it feel more personalized, it's more exciting for the students, so make sure and take advantage of it, even if it's just for that. So easy to do the recording. In our next video, we will talk about how do we do the editing. And we won't dig too deep. This is not a big tutorial on how to use editing software. This is just the basics of what you need to do to clean up things a little bit, trim off the ends, get it ready to share some instructional material. It's not Hollywood feature time. So stick with me in the next video. We'll learn how to do that together.